Oh, okay.
We just
Okay,
started
we're
right
good.
now.
Yeah, we just started.
But those stories would have been good.
Yeah, it's okay.
Wow, did somebody cry here?
Man, I've been
It's,
crying since I started.
Yeah. I think our first 2 months we cried every time.
That was powerful, right, you guys? We all have a story, and I just have to say thank you, well, Anthony, right, for sharing your story, Byron and Janice for sharing your powerful stories. We all have something, right, that we come from, and we're here for a big reason, right? We all have goals, and I came here to chasing the American dream to the United States, and I had jobs, and I thought I was going to be successful having a job, went to college, graduated, got jobs, and then I figured that it wasn't really how everybody said, right? You go to school, you graduate, you find the dream job, and then that's it. You live the happily ever after, right? So we're here because we're looking for an opportunity, right? So raise your hand if you're here to build a big successful business, you guys. Raise your hand if you really believe that that's why you're here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I know I've been instilling in my team, right? We're building a big team, right? I'm serious about opening more offices. I'm serious about building new leaders. And I keep telling, I can't do everything by myself. So who's gonna be the next trainer, right? I was talking to Mark. He's one of the first licensed agents. So when are you gonna be the next trainer, right? And then after Mark, who's gonna be next? So that's what we need to do, you guys. But you can come here and be by yourself, and then you're always chasing points, right? You're always chasing new appointments and clients and that kind of stuff. But when you're building a business, you guys, you tap into new markets, you reach out to more people. So what we're going to talk about here is we're going to talk about duplication, right? I'm trying to duplicate myself into my business, into my new business partners, right? I want to see who's gonna be like a stand, who's gonna be the next agent, right? Felicia, Swanson, and all of them, Isela and Caroline, all of you guys. But here's the thing, you guys. If you are gonna be a big business in the business, I learned this early on in my career. I was told that if I was gonna be huge and successful, that I needed to build a big team, right? If you build big teams, leaders will come, right? So, so who has the BFS? Okay, everybody has it. Okay. If you don't have it, I'm gonna put it here. If you're in my team or whoever is in here, if you don't have this, we can actually email this to you guys. Okay. This is like the Bible that we use for anything that you want to know about the business. It's here. It's called the business format system. Okay, so what this is, you guys, if you were to be dropped off on an island, right, you didn't know anything about the business, but you say, okay, I want to run this business, but I don't know how to do it, you can just read this, and it'll tell you exactly what you need to do, okay? So, I want to ask, well, I want to read this, and I'm going to ask a couple of questions. So, here's the thing, you guys. Let me see. What do I ask? Jacob. So, would you prefer to have a couple of people doing big things, right? Somebody that's bringing you a lot of people, making you a lot of money, or would you rather have 20 people that are doing a lot of things, or 50 people that are doing a lot of things?
50 people doing a lot of things.
Why?
Because the smaller number of people doing things, the more casualty you have if something falls out.
Very good.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Repeat that again. The more what?
The more or the less people you have, the more chance you have a casualty falling out.
So let's say I have, I don't know, Swanson and Marky, right? And these guys are on fire, and they're like, they make me look good, right? Because they're bringing people, they're put up numbers, big numbers and everything. And all of a sudden, something happens to Marky, right? What's going to happen, you guys? How is that going to affect my business? Huge, right? Now I have only Swanson. What if something happens to both of them, right? I'd rather have 50 people doing a little bit, right? But even between those 50 people, there's going to be some key people that are going to be doing a lot, right?
Yeah.
But we want to have all of them doing something. Because now they fall off, that's going to might affect my business huge, right? Now I gotta go and find those people if I didn't encourage anybody to produce. So I wanna make sure everybody's doing something, you know what I mean? So that's what we're gonna cover today, right? So let's do this, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna have a couple of questions. Lots of people doing a little bit and a few doing a lot, right? That's what we want. So, like I said, we are going to have those key people that are going to keep your business moving, that are going to be the next SMDs, that are going to be the builders, right? And then you're going to have some people that are going to be doing a little bit here and there. They're going to be more casual. I was having a conversation with Jacob today, doing his fast start, and then one of the things that we have in this business is casual people become what, you guys?
Casualties.
Right? If you take your business very casually, then you're gonna get casual results. You know what I mean? It's how serious you're taking your business. People are gonna see that, right? If you take your business seriously, guess what? People are gonna take you seriously. Imagine if I come here and I say, hey guys, we're gonna do this. I set up a meeting and I show up 15 minutes later, 30 minutes later, or I'm always, taking it casualty. How are you guys gonna see me, right? How can Nick rely on me? No, right? If anybody knows that I'm gonna be here, and we know who the leaders are gonna be here, right? Who's gonna be here exactly at 6:30 when we start BPM, right? So it is important that you take it seriously. And if you're not gonna take it seriously, guess what? Well then, we're gonna spend, the leaders, you guys, we're gonna spend 80% of our time with 20% of the people. Who's gonna be that 20%? Right? Is marketing gonna be the 20%? I know Matt's one of the 20%, right? So who's gonna be that 20%? And you gotta make sure that we're looking for you, right? Because earn the time. Look for your leader, your trainers, and ask, hey, we're gonna spend time with you. You know what I mean? So, an important principle in building is realizing that you don't have to have a lot of superstars to build a great team, okay? Lots of people doing a little can be better than a few doing a lot. Not every person you recruit will become a great leader. You gotta understand that, right? We just gotta know. That's why you're always gonna be looking for people. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? Become a great leader in this business. So all you can do for the new associates you recruit is give them an opportunity. Give them an example of success. Didn't we just talk about that, Felicia? What did Nick tell you a few minutes ago?
So let me give you an example from a team.
Nice.
Because my team is looking at me. My team is only going to be as good as I am.
I asked Nick, what advice can you give her, right? And I mean, of course, we all know that, right? But then he said, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I should have said. That's what I should have said. So you have to give them the example. And Melissa says that all the time. The best thing you can do, Cynthia, for your team is be the best example. Keep doing the work. Keep putting in the work. Keep getting results and being the best example. They gotta look at you while you're doing it.
I've always heard too, people have to want to be you. People have to want to be like you.
So think about it. Would you follow yourself? Right? If you were your own leader, would you follow your leadership? You gotta ask that, right? And not in the beginning, you guys. In the beginning, we all start, raw, right? I was just telling Nick, tell Felicia how I was. I've always been shy, but I was even worse before. I'm introverted and all those things. But I knew that I was not going to succeed in this business if I stayed the way I was. So I had to read, I had to develop, I had to listen to audio, I had to talk to myself. Nobody's better than you, right? And guess what? I can't build a big team if my team doesn't look up to me, right? If they see me that I'm weak, if they see me not getting results. So you have to be the best example. So Lupe, right? When you get your next person, are you gonna be, you gotta see you keep doing, okay, yes, I got one, and even if they keep you so busy, you guys get what? They gotta keep you seeing, bringing more people. They gotta keep you seeing that you're building more people, more leaders. You know what I mean? So you gotta keep going. So you may also suggest that an associate use WG as a second income career, keeping they wanna keep their career and then build a secondary income. So It's all about the numbers. So here's my thing, you guys. I wanna ask somebody. Let's see. What are you doing on a daily basis to build your team, to build your business? Think about this question. Write it down, right? You wake up every day and you're like, oh, I have a business, right? I have my WG business. If you have a job, Janet, right? Janet? Yannick. When you go to work, what do you have to do every day when you get up?
Get ready.
Get ready, right? And then you say, now you gotta drive, how long?
Hour and a half.
To get to work, right? And then from there, what do you know is gonna happen once you get to work? How many hours are you gonna spend?
All
10 to
day.
12 hours.
He sells cars, you guys, 10
Yeah.
12 hours. Pretty much all day, right? So he knows exactly what he needs to do. Now, you have a business now. Now let me ask you this. What do you do every day to your, towards your WG business?
Nothing. Because I know that if my job did find out, if I try to recruit their fresh ups, I'd definitely get fired. Don't know my days off. I call my friends. I try. And I go out.
Okay, that's fine. So what you need to do is sit down with Matt and figure out, hey, I know I'm here full time. What am I gonna do to get out of this? Have you planned, do you have a plan to leave that job?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if that's clear, okay, you don't have to answer, you can talk to Matt about that, but are you working that plan so you can start leaving that and maybe you start with their part or you leave it and find something else? Transition,
Yeah.
thank you, Melissa. So you can transition here,
Mm-hmm.
alright? So who wants to share what do they do on a daily basis to grow their business? Somebody? Marky?
Well, I don't every day dedicate to this because I have my
Stand up.
I'm sorry. I don't have every day to dedicate to this business because I have my other two jobs. But what I do on my days off is I'll go to the dog park with my dogs and I'll talk to people there and I'll get some numbers because I work at Starbucks. It's very easy to talk to other baristas at other locations and get phone numbers. I actually just got a number for someone who's studying business finances. So
Nice.
yeah, so there's lots of opportunities when just go out.
So you're using Marky actually just, how many days off are you? See, he just took a day off, from his current, from the high school, cause he works at the high school. Cause I'm gonna take Tuesdays off completely, I'm not gonna work at Starbucks and I'm not gonna work at the high school, so I can spend more time in my business. So we met today, we went and prospected with, Carolina and Marky. And then he went to the office and he closed the door and he was making phone calls in the office.
Nice.
So he's starting, and we gotta get better, right? We're gonna make sure we tighten that schedule. But yes, that's what he's doing. Good job. And then on Thursdays, you work at the high school, but you don't work at Starbucks.
Just have Starbucks, but I don't.
So he's trying to transition, right? He's making moves so that he can transition here. You know what I mean? Matt?
So, when you guys come full time, it's a little bit different. So I schedule my day out. I'm in by 8:45. I start making my calls between 9 to 11. Try and make at least 30 to 40 phone calls. Talk to at least 5 to 10 people. Booking activity, minimum 3 units at least, if not more. And then lunch is between like 11 to 12. And if I don't have any one-on-ones or fast starts, like today I didn't have any of those, so I was out between 1 and 3 out getting numbers. And then if I have KTPs in the evening, obviously today's Tuesday, so we're here. But if I have KTPs in the evening, then I'm out in the field.
I hope you're taking note, you guys, because it's not going to be the same for everybody, but whatever fits for you.
Yeah, and I think the most important thing you guys got to understand is you're used to having a schedule at your job. So when you're done with your job, you got to schedule your time to do WFG. Like when I got out of work at 2 o'clock at Costco Wholesale, as soon as that's done, it's all WFG the rest of the day till like 10 o'clock at night.
Thank you, Matt. So I'm going to tell you how I started part-time, right? I was working really quick, working full-time, 9 to 5. And then during my break, you guys, WG was always in my business because I always saw it as the light at the end of the tunnel. Oh my gosh, this is my chance, finally. right?
Mhm.
This is how I saw, I mean, literally I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and I was looking for that chance, and that's what I got when I started WFG. So I would have to work, and sometimes I would get texts, right, and I would be like, in my desk, you know, looking for my text, and then, I would have lunchtime, I would go to my car, literally would call my S&Ds, I would be making phone calls, texting people so I could have guests, booking activity, or really communication with my leaders, right? And then, 20 minutes before, I would go to the kitchen and I eat, right? And then go back to work. At 5 o'clock, I used to work overtime without getting paid, and then after, once I started here, no more overtime. I was like, 5 o'clock would hit sharp, I would leave, and I would go to the office and sit there and make phone calls. And this is an office with Nick, you know, when we had an office in Temecula. Or if I didn't have phone numbers to call you guys, guess what I did?
Went out.
I will go out get some more numbers. So I will be out from 5:30 until 7:30 or 8 o'clock, whatever it took. You know what I said? I'm not going home until I get my 5 numbers. That's what I did. I'm not going home until I get 5 numbers. So, guys, I was tired, right? And I didn't see my kids. I hadn't seen my kids all day sometimes. But I said, if I'm gonna make this business happen, I'm gonna do the sacrifice that it's gonna take so I can get the results. So sometimes I'll be home by 7:30, sometimes I'll be home by 8:30, but I will go home with 5 numbers. And remember this leader you guys said, one time he said, if you can get 2, that means you can easily get 3, right? If you can get 3, you can easily get 1 more. So I would get 5 sometimes, and I said, oh, I think I can get 1 more, right? So I would get, if you can get 5, you can get 6. So always pushing yourself a little bit more to the limit. Are you, or are you just like, 8 o'clock, I don't have my numbers, so I guess I won't get them, right? That's taking your business what? Casually. You know what I mean? How serious about your business that you're gonna do whatever it takes so you can get the results. And it's getting you out of your comfort zone, right, guys? It's not gonna be, you're not gonna be successful in your comfort zone. It's like water and oil. Can water and oil mix?
No.
No. It's like success and comfort don't mix either. Right? Success and comfort do not mix. You gotta love being uncomfortable to get the results. You know, sometimes you guys, I love being, even if I have to work on Sundays. You know, we met with Tequia's family on Sunday, and I love it because I'm busy. That means I'm making not only making a difference in her life, but I'm also making a difference in me, right? Our business is growing. I'm teaching her, and it's whatever it takes. So if you're making money, would you complain to be working, right? No, but if you're not working and you're just acting like you're working. So, let's keep working. The law of averages, you guys, if you recruit 25 to 50% of all your prospects, I mean, you're working large numbers. 400, you're gonna have 400 interviews, 100, you're gonna have 100 new people. Out of the 100 new people, 50 are gonna license, right? You gotta accept the numbers. 50 will be licensed associates, registered representatives. Out of those 50, you're gonna get 1 marketing director. Of all those people that become licensed, 1 marketing director, 1 actually is gonna fight to be a marketing director. Who's that gonna be? That can be any of us.
That's SMD now.
Oh, SMD now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So
So it's like SMD, like,
This book was written before.
oh, okay. So out of 25 SMDs, you're gonna have 1 strong builder. So even if it's not you, you can find somebody that can make you look like you're a strong builder, right? So find people that are better than you. Sometimes you're a great producer, and then you gotta find great builders or recruiters. Sometimes you're a great recruiter, then find somebody that's a great producer. That's the beauty of the business.
That last sentence, can you go back? Could you read that last one? Is this super, super important?
Yeah.
I don't hear that a lot.
Okay, so it may be possible to achieve financial independence by helping to build 7 to 10 builders. Although this may take thousands of interviews, thank you, Melissa. Although this may take thousands of interviews, literally, don't get discouraged. You can do it. Right? Does everybody shop at Walmart when they go there? No. So not everybody's gonna want to do the business, right? I mean, imagine how many interviews do you think Nick has done?
Thousands.
Upon thousands.
Thousands upon thousands, right? I haven't done as many as Nick, but, I mean, I've done a lot myself, right? But one of the things that, you know, I made a decision, you know, a few months ago, you guys, I said, this year is gonna be my year. This year is gonna be my team's year. And I had to tweak a few things, and then that's why we're getting results. You know what I mean? And so we're building new leaders. I'm gonna speed this up because I'm gonna still bring Nick. Recruiting bunches. Try to make sure you recruit a lot of people. If you're only recruiting one a month or one every 2 months, you guys, how successful are we gonna be? How many results are we gonna get? It's not gonna happen, or it's gonna take you a long time, right? And then by then you're probably discouraged and you say, oh, this business doesn't work because you're not working the numbers. It's not that you don't work, it's that you're not working the numbers. People will say, well, is this business working, guys? Yeah, the business works if you work the business. Right? So the power of recruiting in waves. You gotta make sure that it's important to develop a regular pace of recruiting. 3 to 12 personal associates every 30 to 45 days. Always, always. Okay, within that wave, you guys, you're gonna get the leaders. You're gonna find, probably within those, you're gonna find the 7 to 10 key leaders, right? And that's, even if you have thousands of people, you're still gonna have maybe, if you have 100, you're gonna have 5 to 7 key people that are gonna help you build your business. Okay? Now I'll send this to you guys. The magic of compound building, a recruiter's mentality, right? You gotta have a recruiter's mentality. Everywhere you go, you gotta be looking at, oh my gosh, that person, I wanna talk to that person. When I prospected Swanson, right, Swanson was there, you know, he was focused and he was working, and I remember I was there with another agent from another office, and I said, did you talk to that guy right there? Because I'm always looking, right? And he says, no, I haven't talked to him. Okay, good, because I'm going to talk to him. And I talked to him, and he's like, sure, let's exchange numbers, right? You got to have always your recruiter's hat, right? If you don't have the recruiter's mentality, you guys, you can possibly let somebody go that could have been your key person, right? I could have said, okay, you haven't talked to him. I don't feel like talking to anybody, so, you know, then sorry, and Swanson wouldn't be here. So, recruiting is all the time thing. It is a state of mind. What's your state of mind, right? Are you always thinking, okay, this is what I have to do? And Nick was telling me, right? It's the state of mind of what you want to do in your business. Build to max up profits. You gotta go wide. Always go wide. But in order to go wide, you want to go deep, wide and deep. So look at this example. So you have a new associate, right? And then these are all your new recruits, your new business partners. So this person has one associate, but this person has 3, right? So now this is a leg, you guys. Is this person gonna go anywhere?
Nope.
No, right? This person might not go anywhere, but this person's definitely not going anywhere because of she's building a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if that person if you quit, that person's gonna go up to me, right? So it's the what they may lose.
Fear of loss.
The fear of loss. Thank you. So width will give you profitability, you guys. The wider you go, right? You're always going to be into new markets, reaching out to new people. But depth is when it's going to give you stability. Like I said, this person that has 4 people here or 3 people, it's not going anywhere, right? Unless they're dumb, but and they leave that. But you know, that's what happened to me. My leaders left, and I went up to Nick. Right? I remember Nick called me, and I was like, "What am I gonna do?" I wasn't here for my upline, right? I was here for me, for my business. So when Nick called me, and I said, "What am I gonna do?" He said, "Well, what do you mean you're gonna do?" No, you remember, Nick? I was at my house, and I was so excited when Nick called me. And
I was in the hallway of the Corona office.
Were you?
I remember the conversation specifically.
Yeah. So my leaders had just left, and I was like, kind of like a lost baby. I was like, what am I going to do? I was only an associate. And then I get a phone call from Nick, and I go, what am I doing? He says, what are you going? You're going to work with me. And I was like, yes. I was so excited. I was so happy, and that really made a difference in my business, you know, working directly with Nick and following his leadership. So anyway, I rolled up to him, but they're lost, right? And I told one time I saw this lady, and I said, I'm going to be an EMD. I'm going to keep going in the business. And she looks at me like, you're going back to me and go talk to Nick. Because I'm not. So depth and stability, you guys, that's what's going to give you what you want. So Marky, who's the next person. Now this person is gonna have somebody else. Alicia, you have 3 people in your business, right? Now we gotta make sure we drive them deep, right? Go wide, secondary, go deep. So you can go deep after you go wide, but you can't have depth in a leg you haven't even started. So you can control the planter, but you can't control the plant. Last thing is building outlets, opening outlets is an all the time thing. Have quantity to get quality. People say, oh, I only prospect people that I think that they look sharp, or I think that they're gonna bring quality to my business. Well, guess what? Those might be the ones that really don't do anything, right, Nick? But the ones that, you know, you just never know. You can't measure the heart of a champion, you guys.
That's right.
The ones that you think may not are probably the ones that are gonna be your strongest legs. You know, I didn't think I was gonna be anybody here. I mean, I was like, oh, I don't know. I remember I was like thinking, can I even do this? I was crying, right? Like, I don't know if I can do this. But I said, I can, because I'm gonna set my mind, and I did. So, I don't know if you want me to keep going, Dave, but, or you wanna come? Huh?
Yeah, I can go.
Okay, you can go?
Yeah, or if you wanna do that page, that's fine.
Okay,
You
so
wanna do
that's
that
the
now,
last one,
and bring
yeah.
it.
This is the last page. So let me go over this, guys, really quick. Harness the power of geometric progression. So, what does that mean, right? That sounds like too technical. A recruit isn't a recruit until he or she has a recruit. So, right, Felicia has 3 recruits. So is she a recruit?
Yes.
Yeah, right? She has 3 new business partners. But if she didn't have anybody, now we gotta make sure that Takia has one. Number 2, a leg is not a leg until it's at least 4 deep. So now we gotta make sure we drive in deep, right? So Felicia has 3. Now each one of them have to have people, right? We gotta make sure that Swanson, Marky, all of you guys, that we drive you deep. A team will have a life of its own once you develop at least two levels of leadership. So you have their leader, new team leader. So that will be, let's say Nick, right? And then that will be maybe me. And now this is my team. So now this business continues to run by itself, right? And I was telling my team, you want to build a business so that one day you can take a step back, right? Didn't I tell you guys? You can take a step back and your business continues to run. Now you're in business. Now you're a business owner. But if you have to be all the time there to build a business, that we're still self-employed. But so build a business, you guys. Go wide and deep. Stay always. Your mindset has to be always going wide and building new leaders. So don't look at I mean, of course, you're not going to go prospect a homeless person, right, that doesn't have any money, or that's in the corner and asking for money, right?
Yeah.
But you got to give everybody the opportunity, right? Especially if they have an income coming in, they can pay. So I'm going to stop here, and if you guys have any questions, I can help you out more. But I'm going to bring up our fearless leader here. He's going to close the BPM, so you always have great nuggets, you guys. Everything that I know is because all the training and the mentorship that he's given me, and you guys should take advantage. Even people on my team, you guys, take him out to lunch. Pick his brain. You don't have to just be going straight to Matt or me or Reggie or whatever. Just tell us, hey, I want to spend time with Nick, and you're gonna get more mentorship and bigger leadership. Okay, so make sure you guys put your hands together for Mr. Nick Lancaster.
Big Bay Shop.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, we're gonna close strong, okay? I got about probably 10 minutes. You know, if you guys haven't noticed, we're gonna keep instilling this mindset that you're here to build a business, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can call it human resources, you can call it hiring and firing, or whatever it is. In WG, we call it recruiting. You know, it's you know, universities do it, right? They're looking for the best athletes in the world. Corporations are doing it. They're looking for the next right person that's going to go on to become a manager or a leader and motivate and train and help grow their organization. So same thing. So you want to take on that recruiting role, but you don't have to do all of it even while you still don't know everything. Leverage your leadership, right? That's a big part of you building your team, is you're not in this thing alone.
That's right.
You want to get good at recruiting. You want to see how we're presenting the opportunity. You want to bring good energy and always be positive, right? You want to be an upbeat version of you, right? You always want to be an upbeat version of you because you are in the attraction business. You want to become magnetic, right? People want to follow people going somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's not just people want to be like you, but not, and not would you follow you, but would 100 people follow you? Because anyone could get 1 or 2 people to follow them, right? You're a good enough person where any follower should probably follow you if you're doing anything. But are you setting an example where 100 people will follow you? Are you inspiring people to where 1,000 people will follow you? 2,000, 5,000, 10,000 people, right? That's where this thing is going, right? That's where you got to start thinking a lot bigger. So you're not in this thing alone, right? And you got to always focus on recruiting. So like what Cynthia talked about, she nailed it. A recruit's not a recruit till they have a recruit. So when you get someone, your number one job, and Matt talked about this at the last meeting too. We're hitting on this so you understand what business you're really in. People go, oh, I'm in financial services. You're really in a team building business. You're in a people business. You're in a leadership business. You're in a recruiting business, right? And so we're doing a lot of the right things. But one thing that I'm noticing is that when we stand up each week for how many people got new business partners, it's 1 or 2 people, and that needs to be half the room. Teams that are growing are recruiting people, right? Think about it. Someone recruited you, so it's selfish for you to be hesitant or be fearful or to not 100% believe in yourself and not talk to people. You have to completely get out of your comfort zone. To the degree that you get out of your comfort zone is to the degree that you grow, right? You're a performance coach, right?
Yes.
So Swanson's a performance coach. Same thing in fitness, right? The further you get out of your comfort zone, the more you sweat, the more you do stuff, right? We were talking about our workouts. I'm like, man, we like to do stuff we've never done before. Why? It's going to force us to grow, right? You ever been sore after a workout?
Yep.
It means, it means you did it. You did something that you haven't, your body's not used to doing. And it's the same thing in business. You got to get out. The further you get out, the further you're going to grow. If you stay in the same spot, you're going to continue to do the same things. So reach out to your leadership. Your leadership shouldn't have to be bugging you saying, hey, what's going on? Or hey, let's get together. You should be bugging them, right? Well, Nick, you're always busy. Yeah, guess what I'm busy doing? Helping the people that do reach out to me that want me to help them grow their business. That's what I'm busy doing. So I'm either going to be busy helping someone else grow their business, or I'm going to be busy helping you grow yours. Which is it going to be? I remember bringing Penny Oy out. She was at $1 million a year, and she came in to my Temecula office, and she goes, man, you know what? If I were you, here's the one thing that I would do. I would be fanatical about making sure that no one else was working with Nick except for me. Like I would flip with one-on-ones. Hey, when can I come in and make calls? Hey, when can I go through my presentation with you? Hey, when can I become independent? How do I get good at this? Like all that stuff. You guys don't, the majority of you don't do enough of that. You're like, well, I just got to figure it out. No, you only do so much yourself. I leveraged Guillermo until I was pretty damn good at the business, until I had a team, and still leverage him. But, by the time I stopped leveraging him, I was at $250,000 a year and was opening up my own office. But prior to that, I was leveraging them like a lot for everything, and still do with events and different things like that. But you're going to get big with the support cast, not by yourself. With a support cast, so you got to make sure you keep it. So you got to be the one, right? Bugging is good. You know what? I like it when I have a teammate that's always like communicating with me on what they got going on, or hey, how do I do this? Or hey, when can we get together? Or hey, I need to get better. Hey, what about this? What about that? Versus just like, oh, I got to make it happen, or oh, Nick's too busy, or oh, I got to figure it out, or I'm not doing crap. Well, no, don't think, well, I'm not doing anything, so Nick's not going to work with me. No, I'm not working with you because you haven't made the effort to reach out or show that you're hungry and want to do this thing. The more activity, the more attention you get. It's just like anything else.
That's right.
Right? If someone's standing in a crowd and they're just sitting there, they're not going to get noticed. But if you're standing in a crowd and you're the only one jumping up and down with your arms waving, who's going to get more noticed? The face in the crowd, or someone jumping up and down waving their hands? The person jumping up and down waving their hands. They're active. They're doing something. They're making themselves notice. They're becoming, noticeable. So how do you become noticeable? How do you get some things going? You start setting up appointments. You start making calls. You start getting in the office. Start doing these kinds of things. This is how you do it, right? It's so huge, you guys. It's one of those things. Hold on a second, real quick. Let me find something really fast. Well, let's go over this. I want to talk to you guys about closing. Closing is helping. So one of the number one skills that you can learn in this business is how to close. Not meaning you have to be some master manipulator, this hardcore salesperson, but just shift your mindset. Closing someone is helping someone, right? Giving someone this opportunity and they move forward, you're helping them. You set someone up on a product, right? You get them saving money, you're helping them. Now, they might not have done it on their own. So yeah, it took you a little bit of influence from you, a little bit of gentle nudge, or you making a recommendation. We could talk about different closing techniques, but you have to understand that closing is helping. Closing is helping. Let me give you something real quick. You have to ask the right questions. You have to learn to ask the right questions. So, hey, do you plan on doing that forever, or do you keep your career options open? Hey, do you see yourself doing this another 5 or 10 or 15 years? Do you see yourself doing this another 20, 30 years? That's a good recruiting question, right? It's a good prospecting question. You have to learn to ask the right questions. If I could show you how to turn your annual income into your monthly income, would that be something you'd be interested in learning more about? Write these down. These are the right questions, right? Hey, there's so many different closing techniques, and we could talk about some of them. I pulled some of them up. I actually pulled this off of Wikipedia. It actually, I literally Googled closing, and this is what comes up. Most common techniques. The alternative of choice. So you look at the top, alternative choice, also called the positive choice close, which the salesperson presents the prospect with two choices, both of which end in a sale. Would you prefer that in red or blue? So instead of saying, do you want a marker, right, you're saying, hey, which one do you like better? You like the orange one or you like the black one? Would you, do you feel more comfortable saving $500 a month, or would $1,000 a month be better for you? Or what's more affordable for you, $200 a month or $400 a month? You give them options, right? Or a lot of times you do 3 options. Like when you're recruiting, we do a 3-option, right? The 3-option close at the end. Hey, do you see yourself more as a referral partner, part-time trained career, full-time business owner? When you give them 3, they usually pick the one in the middle.
Yep.
Like, hey, what do you feel more comfortable with? Doing this, or doing this? Which one's better for you? They usually pick the one in the middle. And so when you give options, now those 3 options all lead to a close. They lead to an AMA in our one-on-one, or they lead to them moving forward on the product. You know what I mean? So that's one. The assumptive. Let's talk about that one. The third one down. Also known as the presumptive close, which a salesperson intentionally assumes that the prospect is already agreeing to buy and wraps up the sale. Just pass me your credit card and I'll get the paperwork ready. So write this down. Tell you what, let's do this. Tell you what, why don't we do this? Right? That's you guiding the person through the process. Hey, the next step is we got to do an application. Do you have your driver's license with you? So you assume that they're moving forward. That's an assumptive close. Assumptive closes are great because now the prospect has to literally pump the brakes. They have to verbally go, well, wait. But if you've right, and so kind of backtrack. You get small yeses lead to big yeses, right? You guys know that, right? Yeah. Small commitments lead to bigger commitments, right? So same thing when you're doing a presentation. The small yeses lead to big yeses. So if you've been getting them to say yes, yes, yes along your presentation, now you can go assumptive, and it's just you're just they're just going with the flow. If they're really like, this ain't gonna work, then they'll throw it out there. Otherwise, they're gonna go, I've been saying yes the whole time, and then, hey, yeah, all right, paperwork, all right, my credit card, okay, cool, yeah, well, we're rolling. Unless they have this big red flashing stop sign in front of their face, right, or in their mind, they're really gonna go with it, especially if they feel good about it, and they've been you've been getting them to agree, it's made sense along the way, they're rolling with it. So there's the assumptive, right? Direct close, simply directly ask the prospect to buy. So sometimes people are just afraid, like you won't get the sale because you just don't ask. It's kind of like referrals. If you don't ask, you don't get.
That's right.
If you're gonna walk away and you haven't done a direct, like, hey, you know what? I think this is best for you. Why don't we get this thing started? Hey, you know what? I think based on what we went over, the IUL is the best thing for you. Why don't we take the next step and get an application? Let's see if we can get you approved. So that's an assumptive, but it's also direct. Going, hey, right? There's I don't know if there's one on here, but there's the it's not assumptive. Okay, let me come back to it. Hold on. There's the indirect, also known as the question close. The salesperson moves to the close with an indirect or soft question. How do you feel about these terms, or how does this agreement look to you? So, hey, the numbers look good, don't they? And so it's an indirect close, so you're getting these, it kind of, it says it on here, minor point close, which the salesperson deliberately gains agreement to process on a minor point and use it to assume that the sale is closed. Would the front door look better painted red? No? Okay, then let's leave it the color that it is. So there's so many different techniques, but you gotta get good at this stuff, you guys. You gotta start to become confident in your ability that everyone wants in and everyone needs what we do. It comes back to a belief thing, right? It comes back to a belief. Right? We talked about this earlier, that this business is nothing more than how much you believe in what it is that you're doing. One other thing I'm going to show you. Hold on one second. Over here, listen to this. It says, I lose out on maybe $1,000 to $3,000 in commission if you don't get an IUL, but you lose out on $100 to $3,000 at retirement if you don't. So you need to. Right. So anytime. Right. So when you put yourself in a position where they need it, think about that. That's your mindset. Like, hey. It's like when someone doesn't want the opportunity, I go, I got the opportunity, so you're not hurting my feelings, but you're losing out on building a legacy for your family. You're losing out on controlling your time, making the money you really deserve to make. So if you say no, you're not saying no to me. You're saying no to the potential of what's going to happen for you in your future. Same thing with the saving money, right? It's like if they say no on an IUL, I might lose out on $1,000 to $3,000 if you don't do it, but you're losing out on potential $100,000 to $300,000 if you don't do it. So, let's look at it like that. Right? Is that big or what? Yeah. It says, will WFG succeed without you? Yes. Will you succeed without WFG?
Probably not.
We don't know, but chances are you got a pretty good thing going right here, right? To piggyback on what Cynthia talked about, I want you guys to write down, how wide are you right now? How wide are you at this meeting? How many people do you have in your business? That's the name of the game. I want you to draw out 10. You could do little, if you don't like circles or whatever, but put like 3 lines or 10 lines across. So 10 small lines or 10 circles, and I want you to get fanatical about filling those things up with your directs. And then a team, right? A leg's not a leg, right? Just like what Cynthia talked about, you want to drive that thing deep. So recruits not recruit till they have one. So it's great, we appreciate you guys being here, and you're building it, and we gave you the opportunity. Now let's help you build your team. Right? We could really explode if more people put on that recruiting hat that Cynthia talked about. Looking for your next recruit, understanding that that's the business that you're in, leveraging your leadership, getting fanatical about it. You kind of got to go a little crazy with it. You got to go a little crazy, but in my 14 years, the only way I know of growing your business, of building your team, of doubling, tripling your income, is by you going online. The only way I've seen businesses grow and maintain consistent growth is new direct legs. So, you know, you got, you know, a leg that's 4 deep and you want to double it up, you got to get another leg 4 deep. How do you do that? You got to get more directs, right? So that's the name of the game. But this is nothing more than a confidence business. It really is. The more confident people are gonna get results, and the ones, you know, and sometimes there's gonna be some ignorant enthusiasm. You can be excited and not know everything. Some people lack confidence because they feel they lack knowledge. Like, well, I don't know enough, and I don't want to look dumb. You just keep it simple. You stay excited and you leverage. Say, hey, I got an office here in Norco. Hey, you gotta meet my broker. You know, her name's Cynthia, or you gotta meet the CEO, right? And so our job. Do you guys like the conference table?
Yeah.
Conference tables, cool, right? That's for you guys to use. You use for one-on-ones. We use for fast starts. We use to client appointments. Client doesn't want you to meet at their house. Go, oh, why don't you come out to my office? We'll do a presentation in there. Now they come see the office. It gives a little bit of credibility, right? They don't think you're just working out of the trunk of your car. You know what I mean? You actually have a physical location. Use the office more. Man, there's only about 4 or 5 people that are in the office on a regular basis. More of you guys need to be in the office.
Yep.
And then what I'm going to challenge you guys to do, or maybe, if you're down right there, down with Cynthia and Arthur, start posting daily on your social medias. In the office. Hey, I'm in the office making calls, or hey, I'm sending things out for the team. I'm doing stuff. Make a social media presence that you're working, that you're busting it, and having fun. So you're working hard, having fun. Working hard, having fun. Family, fitness, whatever it is. Kind of balance it out. But people need to see the activity and the things that you're doing. It makes you attractive. They want to be a part of it. Everyone, write this down. Everyone wants to be part of a championship team. Everyone does. Think about it. Look at Kevin Durant. Right? He's like, hey, I can't beat him, so I'll join him. Right? Everyone wants to be a part of a winner. So don't be shy. Right? Don't be shy about what it is we do.
Yep.
Don't be shy about that. Be confident. Right? Even if you don't know all the words, you don't need to. You don't need to know all the words. Yes, you got to be able to hold a conversation. Don't hide. Don't come across that you're hiding anything. That's why we have simple scripts. Hey, what do you do? Hey, man, I show families how to retire earlier and pay less in taxes. We gotta meet. Can you tell me more? You know what? It takes about 45 minutes. I'm brand new. There's things I really want to show you versus tell you. When can we get together? You go right back to booking the time. Those are the only things you really need to say, you guys.
Yep.
That's it. We show, right? So write this down. We show people how to retire earlier and pay a lot less in taxes. Well, can you tell me more? It takes about 45 minutes. There's things I'd rather show you versus tell you so you can see the big picture. If you feel they're kind of humming and hawing, trust me, it won't be a waste of your time. And then you throw in those questions. If I could show you how to turn, you know what, straight up, dude, if I could show you how to turn your annual income into your monthly income, would you take a serious look at it? Right between the eyes, it's like, hey, let's cut to the chase. As good as it is right now, it could be 10 times better. When are you available? I work all week. I don't have time. Go, great, I don't need all week, I just need 30, 45 minutes. Right? People are like, oh, I'm busy all week. I don't need all week. I just, everyone's got 30, 45 minutes. I work every day this week. Well, do you work days or nights? I work nights, so daytime's better. Great, let's get together during the day. Well, I work 10 to 7. Like the worst shift ever in the world. It's called retail, I think, or whatever it is.
Yep.
Where it's like 10 to 7, and it's like all day, every day. It's like hard to meet in the morning, and by the time they get out, and they gotta eat, and they got the kids, blah, 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 all that stuff. It's like, man, how much longer? So once they start, when time really is that much of an issue, then just say, man, you know what? It sounds like you're just too busy to, you're too busy being being you're too busy at your job. That's not getting you anywhere to even have time to do anything different. Let me ask you a question, man. How much longer do you want to do that? Right? How much longer do you want to put your, be a modern day, slavery, right? Jobs.
Mhm.
So play offense. Play offense. We got the best thing. People want to have their own business, right? People want to make more money. They want to feel that they're contributing. They want to feel appreciated. They want to get recognized. They want to move up. And this is the place to do it. They want to personally develop and grow. And this is the place to do it. The things that we do for families, other companies are just not doing. How many people work at a job just to make money? Just to get by, just to pay their bills? Too many. These people, you gotta be thinking, right? This whole recruiting hat is that people have a flashing sign on their chest that says, discover me.
Mhm.
Seriously, discover me, right? You never know. Talk to them. It's gonna be a no if you don't talk to them anyways. They won't be in your business. At least find out. I think and Grow Race, the guy who fell 3 feet, the guy who fell short 3 feet from gold.
Oh, yeah.
You remember reading that story?
Yep.
He got into the life insurance business. He started going door to door, and he's going door to door saying, "Hey, you wouldn't want life." He's knocking on the door. They answer the door. He goes, "You wouldn't be interested in life insurance, would you?" And they go, "No." And he's like, "Okay," but he knocked enough doors and finally go, "Matter of fact, I am." And then boom, he'd write the sale, right? But I mean, even if it's like, hey, you wouldn't be open to making 2 or 3 grand or making 100 grand, would you? Oh no, I wouldn't be interested. I mean, it sounds kind of ridiculous for them to say no to that, though, right?
Yep.
But some people will just whatever. They just don't want to be bothered or whatever, and you let those people be. But you'd be surprised, right? You kind of take a backdoor approach to prospecting. Hey, you know what? I'm kind of new to the area, but you know what? This might sound kind of random, but do you know anyone who's maybe looking to earn an additional 2 or 3 grand part time, or $100,000 a year or more, making a career change? So you're not even asking them, hey, who do you know? I'm new to the area. Would you happen to know anyone that would possibly be interested in making 2 or 3 grand part time, or a 6-figure plus income, making a full time career change? And then what are they going to say half the time?
Me.
Well, I would.
Yep.
Oh, well, I didn't even think about you, but yeah, all right, You know what I mean? And then it takes the rejection away if they say, yeah, you know what, I wouldn't really know anyone. Okay, no worries. You're not rejecting, they're just rejecting the fact they don't know anyone. But a lot of times they'll say, yeah, I am, matter of fact. Right? But that's where you're always doing these things, Same thing on the social media, right? There's so many channels. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. So many channels in recruiting, but we got to get aggressive. Too many people sitting around just watching other people's teams grow, and time's going by. You're going to be in this business 2 years, before you know it. Well, 2 years. There's people are coming in at S&D in 6 months. So you get, if you don't feel like you're behind, you should. It should be you got to start. Write down these initials right here. RBLC. Write that down. RBLC. What's R stand for?
Recruit.
Recruit. So you got to recruit, right? What's the second one?
Build.
Build. That's building a team underneath them, right? So we recruit someone. Recruit's no good until we can build some underneath. I got this new guy, and he's going to be awesome. When he has a team and he's, he or she is consistent and they're growing a business, then I'll get excited about them. But other than that, they have a lot to prove. So, you recruit, you build, then you lead. You lead. So recruit, build, lead, and then the C is compete. Compete. So check this out for a second. So we're May 1st right now. Okay? Who's gonna be the top recruiter this month in May? Direct recruiter. Stand up if you think you'll be the #1 recruiter this month in directs. And if you don't think you are, then don't stand up. We know where you're at. Okay? So everyone's all right, so the majority of people stand up, and it all sounds good, and hey, I'm standing up, I'm gonna be part of a cool group. All right, so now, all of you are gonna say you're gonna compete, right? Well, who's gonna be like #1, like the top recruiter in May, like for sure?
I'm not going
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Leadership speaks, the leadership board speaks for itself.
How much, all right, how many do you think you're gonna get, and is that gonna be enough? So if I were to ask you all right now, how many directs are you gonna get this month, would it be enough to be number one? Think about it. Who was number one last month? How many did you have last month? You had 3 in April?
No, April, no. Well,
Okay.
yeah.
So who had the most in April? How many did you have last month in April? 3? Okay, I had 3, you had 3. Okay, if you didn't have 3, sit down. Okay? So, she was the top recruiter last month. She was the top recruiter last month. And she was standing up saying she's going to be the top recruiter again. Is basically what she's saying. Okay, so how many are you going to get in May? 7? Okay? So now who still thinks they're going to be the number 1 recruiter if she goes and gets 7? Straight up. Straight up.
I'm going for 10.
So you're telling me everyone in here that's standing up right now is going to get 7 or more directs. Okay? Okay, sit down. I want you to write this down. I want you to write this down. We asked Ed Milet. Ed Milet's the agency chairman, right? They said, Ed, how much time do you spend focused on getting your directs when you had a team? You know, you have a team, you gotta work with them, you have client appointments, you gotta train your agents, you gotta prospect, you gotta make your calls. How much time do you spend going wide, right? Getting new teammates direct to you? He says 65% of his time. Even while still building a base shop, even while still building a business, even still while he was fast starting people. Because it's like a farmer. It's like that's asking a farmer, hey, how much time do you spend tending to your crop and how much time do you spend planting new seeds? It's 65% planting new seeds. Because in the development, right, like if you were actually take a farmer, right, when you plant seeds, some of the birds will come eat them, some are going to get weather, not be able to handle the weather, and all this stuff happens in the business too. People are going to quit, it's going to yield the fruit and then die or whatever. So 65% of your spare time that if you're part-time, you got to spend getting wide, adding new teammates to your business, right? I have a board that you guys will see up in my up in the break room here in the next couple of days by Saturday. But I have 100 squares. You guys see my license plate frame, right? Or what does my license plate say?
100 wide.
100 wide. So guess what? We're going to fill up those 100 squares with 100 directs, active. Right, active. I'm going to put a focus on it, which I've always tracked, but I've never just been like I'm filling up 100. So I'm going to have 100 people showing up. And however many of them are leaders and SMDs or whatever, active people. Not just, I recruited 100 people, because I've already recruited well over 100 directs, but 100 people showing up direct. Right? I'm asking you guys to at least start with your 10. Start with your 10. And then once we, then you start getting wide, then we'll start, looking at deep legs. But if you're not wide, you ain't got a whole lot going on. Who's like, let me just ask you a question real quick. All right, so 7's the magic number. You guys are all in a competition to see who's going to be the top recruiter. That's the most prestigious thing that you can have in a business. Right? The most recognition goes to the best recruiter. The recruiter's more likely to get more licensed agents. The recruiter's likely to make more money just through, right, fast starts and field training and appointments and licensing and and then those people are getting right in sales. So recruiters make the most money. Ask Swan Wynn. Swan Wynn makes over $10 million a year in WFG. And the dude's a recruiter. Ed Milet, one of the best guys in the company, he's a recruiter. These guys are recruiting. So you're just again, you could chase sales, but until you want to build something. Think about it. Do you want to be the guy that just personally produces and makes $1 million a year? Or would you rather be a guy that goes and recruits three of those kind of guys? guy making $1 million a year with his own pen, or you wanna be that person?
Override.
You wanna override it, cause then how many more people can you find like that? And yeah, you wanna do your own work, shoot, by all means. You're gonna go write your business. You get wide, every one of those sales is yours until they're licensed. All the field training's 100% you when you're a trainer. But we're talking about getting aggressive, right? This is called a race for outlets. We don't say we cruise for outlets or we tippy toe for outlets. You guys know what an outlet is, right? We talked about this before, right?
Mhm.
An outlet is a licensed agent that can get a result on their own. So write that down. It's a race for outlets. Keyword, race. Second word, two. Third word, outlets. It's a race for outlets. Right? One, are you an outlet? And then two, how many outlets you got? But it's a race. The person getting the widest is gonna win that race all day long. You wanna go straight to the top of the company? You gotta be the widest person in the hierarchy. The wider the better. How many SMDs wide do you think G is active showing up to Momentum Monday? Can you, here, look, here, let's do something real quick. Name them off.
You.
Me,
Anthony,
JR,
JR.
Anthony McGowan,
Eric, oh no, Eric isn't, sorry.
Danny, Anthony,
Mike
Mike.
Betancourt,
Mike,
Reeve,
Carlos Bruno.
Yariv,
Carlos,
Carlos,
Robert.
Robert Sale,
Robert Rapati,
Robert Rapati, Robert Sale, who else? Mark Mundrick. Who else is direct? Huh? No,
David Lynn, or what was his name?
they're not direct.
John.
He's got Q,
Yeah, Q.
Dr. Q.
States.
Who else?
Core.
Coronado Haro. I'm drawing a blank, he's got a lot more. Who else? You're looking at the
Yeah.
WeChat?
I am.
Let me see, hold on, guys.
Oh, Alfonso.
Alfonso. Senate, right, up north
Yeah.
in Idaho.
Yeah.
Senate, who's the girl?
Megan.
Megan Jantz in Idaho.
Who's Kevin director? Not Kevin. Who's Frank direct to?
Frank.
Chavez, Art Chavez? Is he direct?
no, Art Chavez is direct to core.
Oh, that's right. Richard Blanco.
Is that it?
Can't think of anyone else. I'm looking at people that, if you got everybody
That's the majority. So look at all these. So these are direct, and then look, CEO. So check out his income. CEO, EMD, SMD, EMD, SMD, 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 EVC, SMD, SMD, SMD. These are all the rest SMDs, but he's got direct CEO, two other direct EMDs, You know, that's why he's making $1 million. And then how many people are in his base shop? Just start looking at that, right? It's all on width. It's all on width, right? So it's like here, Reggie, Cynthia, right? Eddie. We have Elijah in Riverside. Randy, Alex and Dee Dee, ACDC, Jorge, Fareed. These are all my direct actives. Ron, right? And then the base, you know, and then the base shop. Matt, Arthur,
Janice and Byron.
Lupe, J&B,
Gina. Others that aren't here. Jessica.
Others that aren't here that we don't want to list those right now. But so, right? This is the name of the game. So how long is your list? And I'm not saying it to call you guys out. I've been here a while. But you got to start working on that. That's got to be a focus. You don't want to be sitting here and go, shoot, you know what? Like right now, I said this at the full-timers. And I don't say it in a negative manner at all. And yes, it is supposed to hit you like a ton of bricks. You know, it's like, can someone come in right now in the business, hit their 330 and have a bigger team than you?
Yes.
And how long have you been here? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way we got to look at this thing, you guys. And that should motivate you to be hitting your 3-3 every month and put an emphasis on growing your team. There's no reason why any of you can't have 10, 15 people on your team here. Think about it. Right? So you got to get aggressive with filling in those 10 spaces, those 10 circles, like fanatic, and then getting them here. Getting them here. Yes, it is about the size of your team. The bigger the team, the bigger the income. Straight up. Think Bill Gates has a big team?
Yep.
Or is he doing all the software design, all the marketing, all the advertising himself?
Nope.
Not even close. Not even close. Did he have to do a lot of the legwork up front?
Yes.
Hell yeah, that's why he is where he is now. It's the same thing with you. If you're right here by yourself, you got to do the most of the grunt work, roll up your, what we call the dirty. You got to go talk to people. You got to make calls. You got to get fanatical about appointments, like nobody's business. This is you. This is about you becoming financially independent, you guys. That's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about making a couple bucks. We're not talking about you having this little hobby, side little, deal. We're talking about you becoming financially independent. You building a multi-million-dollar earning annual income per year, passive, and then some. Right? We were talking about cigars the other night, and I go, yeah, I know a guy that smokes quite a few cigars every day. Dan Charlier. Like, oh yeah, he was actually here in Corona, Chino. He was an SMD with his ring in the office when I got recruited up in Pomona. Well, where's he at now? He lives in Beverly Hills. He has an office in Beverly Hills. Like, oh, what's he making now? I go, he's consistently makes over $100,000 a month. You know what I mean? Like, that's the level we're talking about. You're not having this conversation working at Target, working at Costco,
Nope.
working, changing tires or military or selling cars. I'm talking about making $100,000 in a month. And then there's levels to that, right? I mean, we're talking about out earning professional athletes. Right? We're talking about you overriding a team that you've never even met. SMD's getting promoted that you don't even know who they are. Offices popping up, sales being written, and things are happening.
Whew.
But that only happens with a team. If you got one or two people, you know everything that's going on in your team. It's actually small. It's actually harder to manage a small team. Mm-hmm. It's actually easier to lead a big team.
Yep.
But people get crippled. Man, what would I do if I had 20 people? If By the time you get to 20 people, you'll know what to do with them. Because you got to get one before you're going to get 10 or 20, right? You got to lead yourself first, but it's all in the front work, right? You know, I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot, but you know, think about it. How long you been here? How many people you got on your team? That's what it is. It's how many people, how many butts in here. You're gonna build a business. You got to get people here, get people licensed, get people going, get people to buy into this system and this dream. It's worth everything and then some. Ask anyone who's made it. Guess what? They were once where you're at. We talk about convention. You're gonna meet people that got an AMA just like you, paid $100, and now they're financially independent, making $500,000, $1 million, $2, $3 million a year. Just where you're at, it's running the same system that we run. Fast start, 3-3-30, hitting double digits, BBC, building a team of 10, 15, 25 people, going to SMD, developing those people, promoting SMDs. And those people start branching out, next thing you know, you got offices. You gotta see yourself in an office. I was just having a conversation with another SMD of mine. I said, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where you live in, where's your office? How many offices you got? What's your income like? You gotta start thinking about this stuff, man. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your obsession becomes your possession. Right? What you obsess about becomes what you're gonna have. Right? You'll get what you ask for, right? You'll get what you want. How bad do you want it? You want it bad, you'll get it. You want to be a big recruiter, you'll start recruiting people. You don't want a big team, then it's not gonna happen. You want it really bad, it's only a matter of time. It's gonna happen, you know? But it's not gonna happen by default. People are not gonna fall into your lap. Very rarely. Don't get me wrong. You know, the longer you're here, the more lucky you get too. I've had people reach out to me. Hey, I'm ready to sign up. All right, cool. You know, and that's great, but that doesn't matter until they actually do something, right? Good things will happen, but it's not without the work being behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the harder you work, the luckier you get. The more uncomfortable you get, the faster you're gonna grow. It's time to get uncomfortable. Do the same things, get the same results. You gotta mix it up. You gotta go above and beyond. You'll know. You'll know because you'll start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. You gotta tell yourself, what do I normally do? Then do the opposite. Talking to someone in here that doesn't really got a whole lot going on. Hey, what'd you do in the beginning? All right, I'll make sure I don't do that. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of crazy, but you know, it's like, do you ask who the person making the lowest amount of money, you know, how they're doing, or are you asking the person that's making the most money what they did or what they're doing? Think about it. You ever heard that from a prospect? Well, what's the average person make a year? I go, well, are you the average person? Like, what are you comparing yourself to? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A champion, a winner goes, who's the fastest to get their license? Who's the fastest to hit 3-3, 10-10? Who's the fastest to hit SMD? Okay, that's my competition. Right? It's a race for outlets. It's a race for you to become financially independent. Time's gonna pass anyways. You're gonna be glad you did it, or you're gonna be, you're gonna regret that you didn't do it. They say in life, when you look back, it's the things you didn't do that you regret the most versus the things you did. Mm-hmm. The things you didn't do. Right? No one ever takes a bunch of risks and goes, "Well, man, no." It's always what they didn't. You know, people look back on regret, and it's what they didn't do more than what they did do. Don't get me wrong, people make mistakes that you regret, but that's part of the learning process. But most of the time, it's what you didn't do. Time's gonna pass anyways. I know when I go to events, I'm like, man, you know what? I should have been getting wider, sooner, faster. What would I do differently? I would have got wider faster. I would have focused more on direct, right? You wake up going, I gotta get a direct every day. The lingo in the Mozone is, who's your next direct? Hey, who you got coming in this week? Hey, how many people, right? How wide are you at the meeting right now? How many people you got here on your team? If we're not having those conversations, we ain't gonna grow. We gotta challenge each other, you guys. We're desperately looking for someone to pop their head up and go, I'm gonna be the runner. I'm gonna be the person that's gonna get people in here, and I'm gonna be the widest person here and change the whole culture. Right? You all have it in you to do it. You all know that you need to do it, It's just, it's putting in the work. Everyone's gonna work for someone anyways. Might as well work under you, running their own deal.